Testing, testing. Alright, I'm trying new software. Y'all let me know if you hear anything. Give me a thumbs up or I can hear you or something like that in the chat. Let me see if I can chat with you. There you go. Can you hear me, Jeff? So this is a little awkward. It's a little different for me. Check here real quick. And I'll be getting to, I was going to try and do a screen share so I could show you guys when I do the actual drawing. And if I can't pull that up, I'll just do the drawing and tell you who won. But why is this not on? I can hear you. Yep. Okay, y'all can hear me? Ah, there it goes. Okay, cool. Everything all right? Awesome. All right, let's get to this. How's everybody doing? Got real warm here in Florida. I'll get right to the drawing. Let's see. Let me say hey real quick. A lot of people came in. Jeff, I saw you there. Sarah, Melissa, Jerry. Who else? Sarah, Carrie, Michael. Lots of people coming in. Abe, Carol, Planner Lady. You won last week the nutrients. I gave away 2 sets of nutrients to you and Vivian. And I said, if y'all, did you find me on Twitter? I said if I was looking for somebody, we have to follow each other so we can DM, and then I can get your address and I can send it to you. So I'm on Twitter, and anybody needs to get in contact with me. I'm on Twitter. My name's just Mike_Vanduzee, Vanduzee. I can type it in the chat too. Let me see if I can do that. Just in case you, oh, there you go. My name on here is Keep On Growing with Mike Vanduzee. Just find me over on Twitter and follow me, and I'll follow you back. And you got to tell me I'm Planner Lady because, you know, people have different names on Twitter, so I won't know who you are. And I'll get those shipped off to you tomorrow if you get with me, because whoever wins the growbox, I'm going to go ahead and ship that off tomorrow morning too. So let me see. Check the chat here. Hello, hi, Brandon. How are you doing? Waikiki, Killa. Let's see, Kevin, Pure Moonlight, Jillian. Wow, lots of people in here. Now right now we're just on YouTube. Last week I tried to stream to YouTube and Facebook at the same time, and a lot of people come in at once, and we get a lot of questions, and I get behind and I feel bad, so I'm trying just YouTube. I'm going to try and do the live drawing right here, and then I'll go ahead and stream the Facebook a little bit after this, and you know, it won't be the drawing, but I'll at least have the winners. But I figured I've got a lot of followers on my page over there, and that tends to get a little hectic answering questions, so I thought maybe we'll just do this just here on YouTube. Missouri, how are you doing? Is it kind of cool up there? Reno? Hey, y'all getting a lot of rain up north, right? That crystal ball or whatever, that tropical storm is going like all the way up north. It's supposed to get all the way to Canada. That's crazy. M. Toner, how are you doing? And Alethea, Carrie. All right, how y'all doing? Everybody got their gardens going and everything? I'm going to go ahead, just get things out of the way, like I said, so if anybody was just jumping in, wants to see who won, I'm going to get that out of the way, and we'll do that, and what do you call it? Then we'll have a little question and answer if you guys like. And let me see if I can do a screen share. Now I won't be able to see from here. I don't have a bunch of different monitors in there set up. It's just my laptop. So I'm going to put up try and do a screen grab here, and you guys tell me in the chat. You're not using StreamYard anymore? No, Jeff, I was paying like 25 bucks a month, and I was doing interviews, and it kept going on and off. The audio would cut out, and then my video would just get all fuzzy, you know, and it was it's good, and it's easy for people who are just starting out. I recommend it for anybody, because if you just want to do a quick interview, pull people in, or just go live, it's great. But I'm ready to, you know, do a little bit more, and I was doing some interviews. I've got another channel where I talk to business people and marketers and that about like doing social media and small businesses using social media, and that tends to be a little bit more serious. And when I ask somebody to do an interview with me, it's kind of it's a little bad if I take a lot of time to set up an interview, take some of their time, and then we're doing it, and it cuts off or their audio cuts off and my video gets off. So it was getting kind of unreliable, and it happened to me like 3 times. So I decided to switch up a little bit. Y'all tell me if you can see the screen grab here. Let's see. Right, this should be a little Inception kind of thing. Can you see my screen? Let me watch to see what happens here. Alrighty, now I'm gonna be off of here, so I'm gonna be over where we're doing the drawing. So you should be able to see that, and you won't see me. So I won't see the chat for a second. I'll be over on that other screen. So y'all save your questions and comments, and then I'm just gonna draw 2 names real quick, and then I'll be back with y'all, and I'm gonna write them down. Alright, Masterblend giveaway. Alright, so here was the giveaway. Had 74 entries. Had a whole lot of people went on there, and where are we at? So here's all the people. The one question you had to answer to enter it, you didn't really have to answer. You could have just put yes or no or anything. So I asked, are you growing anything yet? And look at all these people. Tomatoes, lots of veggies, tomatoes, cucumbers, lettuce, other things they're doing hydroponics. Now you won't see their names or anything. I just got the free version. Like I said, if you had put your email in, it's just so we can contact you to get your address to send your prize. But I don't collect y'all's emails, and I'm not going to spam you with like sales or anything. So you can see, so nobody's email is up here or anything. All that happens is once we do the drawing, I get the 2 winners' emails where I can contact them, but everybody else, I don't get your email or do anything with it. Let's see. Growing lettuce, microgreens, tomatoes, okra, peppers, anything I can grow easily. Awesome. Tomatoes, cilantro, basil, dill. So this is all really cool stuff to grow. Pak choy, green beans. Hey, they're growing a whole bunch. Spinach, snow peas, potatoes, tomatoes, sweet potatoes. Who's growing sweet potatoes? Onions, Brussels sprouts, collard greens. Sweet potatoes, we grow that. Lots of people were saying they have a problem with like the heat. Sweet potatoes, they need a little bit of shade, but they're a little bit tolerant to the sun, and you can eat their leaves. Not regular potatoes, that's poisonous, but sweet potato leaves are totally edible, and they're easy to grow. You can just, most people, it like kills me. I see them growing a whole bunch of sweet potatoes, and they tear all the greens off, and then they dig up the tubers, and they throw all the greens away, and that's tons of food that you can eat. But kale, pickle. Yeah, so if anybody joined this, in the contest rules, it did say USA only, and I'm sorry, I'll try and do it worldwide next time, but I can't afford shipping like all over the world. So, maybe on down the road, if, raise a little bit more money or do some super chats or, what have you, and I can afford to ship, Germany or wherever, I had to come through here and filter some out. So if you don't, see your town or something in here, it's because the rules on this one said USA only, and I swear I'll try and do an international one sooner or later. But this was just the first page. Let's just go ahead and draw the winners real quick, like I said. So if anybody's in here and they just want to see that, they can just learn who the winners are, and then y'all can take off. I don't want to keep you all evening. Alrighty, 2 winners. Here we go, draw. Hope this does right. I haven't done this very much. Here we go. So the first one's going to be for the grow box. That's going to be Wendy Loomis. And the second one's going to be Tammy Dudley. Is the winner for... Let me get back here so you can see me. Let's see. Transition. All right, am I back? Let me write that down real quick when I'm on this other screen here. So I got Wendy Loomis. Wendy, are you the same one? I don't know if she's in the chat. I'm not in the chat right now. And Tammy. So if anybody asks me, I'll have them down. Dudley. So Tammy Dudley, 1 Masterblend, 1 pound. And Wendy Loomis, 1 set of grow boxes. Let me write that down. And I'm back. Okay, cool. Thanks. Yeah, this is new software, so I'm kind of a mess trying to figure it all out. Malabar spinach. Yeah, Malabar spinach is good too. That grows really heat tolerant, but it has like little purple seeds to get everywhere, the juice. I'll try to sign up for Twitter. Okay, yeah, and if you can't, planner lady, let's see. Just find some way you can go to. How about keep on growing without the G, keep on growing 1@gmail.com, and I'll check that today or tomorrow. Email me over there and I'll get your email that way. You don't have to set up Twitter just for that. Hi Mike, it's Lynn. You helped me last week. Oh hey, Luke's mom. Hey, how are you doing? Luke's mom, Lynn. Yeah, cool. Nice to see you. That's somebody I've got in the Etsy shop. There's like a 1-hour consultation, and spoke with Lynn last week. That was awesome. She's growing a lot of stuff, and besides just the hydroponics, she's into gardening and everything too. But it was real nice meeting you, Lynn. And if anybody out there has signed up for the 1-hour consultation, there's quite a few, and I've gotten to a handful of them. I've messaged everyone back on Etsy, how to get in contact with me and how to set that up. If you're not sure, because I don't collect your email in Etsy, go look back at Etsy and look at your messages that I probably contacted you to set that meeting up if you're wondering, what's going on. And if you just give me an email, I'll kind of just set a time and date. We'll just have to kind of schedule it, because I'm sure that we're both really, really busy people. But I've scheduled, quite a bit of them in the last week, because we're still basically stuck at home during the home isolation. But now that things are opening back up and my clients are starting to call, it's going to get a little more hectic. So go ahead and get in contact with me so we can get those consultations going. It was great help. Oh, cool. Awesome. Appreciate that. Oh, thanks, Jeff. Dropped the email there. Yeah, planner lady, if you can just go to that email, like I said, that's not the best way for like the general everybody to contact me, because I really don't have time to go through those. I'm thinking of changing it and trying to start over, but as soon as I do and I put it and connect it with my channel, I get flooded with spam and emails and all sorts of things. So it's hard to sift through there every day and try to find everybody's email. So I'm sorry if I missed some of them or I'm not getting to them. And some people ask like questions. There's like 2 or 3 pages of questions. That takes a little while to get through. So probably if you can be a little more concise. Oh, that's what I was going to do. If anybody has been watching my channel for a little while, you guys always come up with questions, and we try to help each other. And I keep getting a lot of questions over and over, and we talked about doing like a frequently asked questions and FAQ. My next series of videos that are going to be coming out are going to be just serious, taking the most asked questions. And if you guys think I should put any in, some have given me suggestions before, but it's like questions about like the nutrients or algae or mosquitoes or the heat, things that I get asked over and over. I'm going to do a video on each one. It's not going to be like quirky or funny or like my other videos and with music, because some people are saying hey, enough with the sound effects, I just want information. Some people aren't here for fun, they just want to come in and get information. So I'm going to make one playlist for them that's just strictly info if that's all they want to come here for, and I'm going to do the most frequently asked questions. So maybe that'll hit most of it. So when people come in, if that's all they want, they ask about nutrients, I'll be like, go check out this playlist. There's all the questions in there. Great to know you do consultations. Yeah, cool. Just anytime. I think I set this up right, but my Etsy shop is down in the description below, and I've only got 4 or 5 products in there. I don't want to like overwhelm people and throw a bunch of stuff in there. It's just got like the grow boxes, the nutrients, my ebook, and a consultation, and that's cool. It's where we can do a little more one-on-one. And if you like getting on video like this, like doing, a lot more people are used to this now because we've got Zoom and everybody got home isolation, and they've been doing some of their work that way, or they've been doing school or MetaDoctor or something. A lot more people are used to this than they were before. And if you want to do your consultation, we can either talk. I've done a few of those where we just call, or if you want to do audio, we can do a video chat like this, just both of us together. Or you can call from your phone. Somebody else did this, and he was actually from Hawaii, and that was a pretty cool one. And you take your phone and you can walk around your garden and actually show me what you're growing or where you want to grow or whatever, and so you can actually show me what's going on, and I can interact with you that way. So that's pretty cool. So you're so kind to think of everyone. We love your funny videos. Cool. Oh, thanks. Appreciate it. Yeah, I enjoy making it, and I did. I never. I got onto YouTube and I was just, trying to share what I was making. And when I started looking up how to film a video, how to edit it, then you start searching everything on YouTube and all these things come up. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Back when I was 18, 19, a long time ago, I was wanting to film, and I was, I actually worked with some videography with the big VHS cameras doing weddings. And it was really tough back then, and all the stuff they have nowadays is just fascinating, and I'm having fun, so I like to do that. And I've been putting in some of my videos because when I watched a whole lot of the other ones when I was learning hydroponics 8-10 years ago, I was just watching a lot of them, and they were like boring, except for Jeb. I mean, Jeb's pretty funny and all that, and so when I did mine, I didn't want to just, I didn't want people to get tired and just watch it and be like, I've had enough. So I just have a little fun with it. But, you're always going to have the people come on and, they're just here for just information. So, like I said, I like to accommodate everybody, so we're going to do that. Plus, I think if you watch something and it's fun and that, but if you have a question, and I say go watch that video, it's better if you go to that video and it just has the answer. It's not like another funny video or something. Size of the container is, let's see, the requirements for certain plants. Let's see, what size of what container are you asking about? Are you talking about the container that we sell, the downspout, or the ones that y'all can build, or just any size of container? I'm going to tell y'all right now too, one of my next videos too is going to be on the containers, because I get a lot of questions and see people doing it, and I made a lot of mistakes when I first started. Dr. Crack, he started out, tomatoes are, the bigger the container the better, because at first they start out slow, but after they mature they drink a lot of water, and as they start to fruit and everything, they're going to use that nutrient fast. So if you have it in a small container that has like 1 gallon, it can suck that up in like a day or two, and you have to constantly be refilling it. So you might as well put it in the ground if you're going to have to keep taking care of it. I think I've got my tomatoes, if it's a smaller one like the Roma tomato, I've got a 5-gallon bucket. It does just fine. Some people put them in a 16-gallon tote, and bigger than that. What do you, Jeff, you grow any tomatoes? So tomatoes are the bigger the better. The smaller ones, the more mass you can get, the cooler it stays. When it starts to get warm, if you have just a little bit of water in there, it warms up really fast. But some plants don't grow really long roots. So if you take something like the pak choi and you put it in a big deep container, the roots aren't going to go down very far, so it's going to grow, and it'll grow fast. You'll harvest it, and then you'll end up wasting a whole lot of nutrients, and you don't want to do that. So you can find some kind of happy medium between, you know, shallow and deep. Like the downspouts work fine for me for the pak choi, but if you can get it into like a wider container, like an ID box, that's about the one that's about 6 or 8 inches deep, that grows really well. We grew some lettuce in those, and it did fantastic, and without wasting nutrients. You know, by the time you get done, there's, you know, a gallon or two, and you can take that and just dump it in your garden if you've got like a traditional garden. If you're trying to do true cracky grow, then the container size matters. I would go with, yeah, 27 gallon for a tomato. Yeah, 27 gallon if you don't want to have to refill it that often. Yeah, and so that's, you know, tomatoes. So anything that's going to take a long time to grow, and if you haven't done anything yet, if you haven't, you know, you're just starting out, you might want to go ahead and start with, you know, leafy greens and basil and mint, things that do really well, you know, being wet all the time, and it'll work yourself up. I had somebody had a few questions this past week, and they asked all these questions about, you know, tomatoes and squash and peppers and lettuce and spinach, and, you know, the list went on, and it was the first time doing it. So don't get overwhelmed. You know, give it a try. Try one or two things. When you master that, move on to something else. But if you try to do too much at one time, things aren't going to work out right. You're going to get confused, and then you'll just get discouraged. So if you try tomatoes, just do tomatoes. Don't try a whole lot of different things. Leafy greens, that's why I like the pak choi. Right now, I had a whole bunch of lettuce out there, and if you guys saw the weather that went by, we just had that tropical system go up. We got bands and bands of rain, and it just beat down all the lettuce. But the pak choi is like, all right. So I have like tons of lettuce out there. You know, we've been harvesting it and eating it. I was wanting to go a little bit longer, but the rain just came by, and it just hammered it for like 4 or 5 days. And I think we're still going to get some rain for the next couple of days, or what's today? Monday, probably most of the week here we're going to get some more rain. So, but the pak choi is sitting up, and it's doing just fine. That's why I like using that. Leafy greens, you need to have about 1 gallon per head. Yep. I started Swiss chard, ooh, cool, basil, peppers 5 weeks ago, and they're barely grown. Okay, I'm doing something wrong, but I'm not sure what, using a cracky method. Yeah, there's lots of different variables. You have to check, yeah, like Jeff's asking what nutrients you're using, how much light you're getting, you know, are you doing indoors or outdoors? What are your thoughts on vertical hydroponics? I love vertical hydroponics. I mean, I've got, you know, the ladder system. I just take my downspouts and I put the ladder system up along the wall, and I stack my downspouts. I have about 5 or 6 of them going up a wall, like a 7-foot wall. And that's what my one video, you know, growing 240 plants in like 4 square feet. And people are like, that's not 4 square feet. And I said, yeah, it's only 4 foot wide. It comes out 1 foot from the wall, so that's like 4 square feet. But it goes up, and you can stack them all up and put 4 or 5 plants in each one of them. That's cool. Now, if you want to grow like the tower garden, or take them and flip them up this way, then you're going to have to get a pump and a reservoir, you know, for all of them to feed into. Pump all the way back up towards the top. Hey, Bonnie, how are you doing? Posh Notions. You're going to need to go ahead and pump it back up top if you want, you know, go vertical that way. But that's cool. And there's a lot of people, I think, zip grow, tower gardens. There's a lot of different things you can use, and you can totally make it with like the downspouts, or you can get the sewer pipe like what we use and flip it up. Get a little fountain pump. The only thing is, to get the water up that high, you got to look at the lift. So you got to have a big pump. Usually a smaller pump that's about $25 or $30 will like lift about 6 foot maximum, and you really don't want to go all the way to the maximum because it's pushing it as far as it'll go, so you won't get that much, you know, flow through it. So you need a bigger pump, so the higher you go. So if you try to go vertical and you're putting a pump, you've got to look at the lift on the size pump that you're getting. Let's see, pH meter. Okay, so y'all asking about pH. Jeff will tell you about that, because I don't use a pH meter. I don't pH test any of mine, and I don't check the nutrient level of the parts per million. After y'all, you know, get everything, like I said, we're for the basics, the beginners. After you get to learning, for the beginners. Then you can work your way up, and if you want to go ahead and get meters and everything. But if you want to get it right off the bat, they're not that expensive. They're about 20 bucks on Amazon. The reason why I don't use it is because those containers, like the 30-inch ones that I'm selling, I've got about 30 or 40 of them going out back at one time. So if I had to go around and check each one of them, and when you check them, the pH, you check it, and then you've got pH up and pH down. It's an acid and a base. And you put like a little capful in, or a teaspoon, half a teaspoon, you know, depends on how much you need. And then you let it set, and then you come back and check again and readjust again. If I had to keep doing that 30 or 40 times, I'd spend all day in my garden and never, you know, get out of there. So either you have to have all your stuff daisy chained together, or, you know, kind of like CB, he's got like a whole greenhouse. He's got all of his nutrients in one big, like a huge trash can, and it pumps to all of the plants. Then it comes all the way back to that one container, so he can go out and pH test that one container. If you're doing a bunch of little ones like what we've got, you know, it takes forever to go and check all the pH. So if you want to get it and maybe check just your standing pH, you know, when it first comes out of your faucet, to make sure, you know, everything's all right, you know, you can go ahead and check that out. Go into a community farm to introduce them to hydroponics. Oh, awesome, Thomas. Very cool. In Illinois, let's see, not direct sunlight, but it's hot in Tampa. Yeah, you're in Tampa. I'm in North Florida, up towards Jacksonville. But when you're in Illinois, make sure that you get as much morning sun as you can, because it's not really hot. And by the time here in Florida we're getting around noon, it gets really hot. So make sure you get a little bit of shade in that afternoon. Let's see. Thank you. Peppers should be good in heat. Swiss chard, cooler temperatures. Yeah, Swiss chard's gonna, the heat will just kick its butt. I'd drag mine over into the shade. Peppers love the heat. We've already got some banana peppers on ours. It's pretty cool. Okay, pH is okay. Alright, so y'all are talking about that. So I've got that. You guys, let's see. So I've got Planter Lady, Vivian, I'm still waiting on from last week. I was going to give some nutrients to. Wendy won some grow boxes. Tammy, Dudley won 1 pound of Masterblend. I'm going to get that stuff shipped off tomorrow, the next day. I'm going to get the boxes shipped off tomorrow because I'm packing some up. I think the little thumbnail that I had, it said last chance for the downspouts. I'm not real sure, but I'm getting my clients are calling, and I'm starting to get back to work, so I don't have that much time at home. When we were stuck at home, I had a lot of time to keep, you know, making these downspouts, and so I did them buy one get one free. You know, I wasn't making that much money off it, but I had the time, you know, so I did a lot of volume. And now that I've got to go back out, I might not have that much time, you know, to spend. I might just have like the weekend or something to make some. So I might take it off the buy one get one free, and I might stop selling them all together. I'm looking into different things. I'm going to make another container that I'm going to put up, and it's might be with a food grade bucket or something like that. And then so that people are more, you know, the people are worried about that, then we'll have that. But I'll get that going. I'll let you all know. So I've got them on sale right now, probably the next week or two, and then I'm gonna take it off. So if y'all want any, I just want to let you know before I just go and shut it off. So it's gonna what's today, Monday? I'll at least do another week, and if I don't get a lot of clients, you know, lined up for the following week, I'll go ahead and do it one more week. But I'm for sure, you know, maybe one more week, and then after that we're gonna try something different. And I'm having fun with it. I'm experimenting with it right now, and we're growing, and I've got videos coming out. So if that works really well, then we might start selling those and showing y'all how to build it and do videos, just like I showed you how to build the downspouts and we had a playlist. What we're doing now, we're going to make videos on that and share that with y'all. I didn't get my old pictures because I switched up the program here and I switched computers. The next time I go live, I'll do that, but I've got all my old pictures from when I first started, and we had like a greenhouse and the first NFT systems that we set up. Not everything was cracky. I had a little pump, and you know, things were growing really well. We were living on a 300-acre farm, We were farmhands for maybe 5 years, and it was pretty cool. We were right on a lake by ourselves. We had a ton of land that we could mess with, but you know, the animals and critters and everything ate everything that, you know, was ever there. Hey Chris, how are you doing? Thanks for stopping in, bud. Christopher Alvarez. I've got hydroponic lettuce and had to install extra shade for them. Yeah, I had to put shade cloths up for my lettuce too, because you're right in the direct sunlight kicked my lettuce butt. Yeah, yeah, it totally did. I'm doing it with light indoors and with lighting. Looking forward to the buckets. Yeah, cool. I'll have those up. Like I said, we're testing them right now, and I'm not sure if I can get the pumps cheap enough in bulk. I might go ahead and include like a pump and an air stone. So if people want to try that, or if, you know, anybody gets the bucket, then Walmart or pet store usually has those pumps pretty cheap. You don't need like a real big one unless you're like feeding like 10 or 12 of them. If you're just doing, you know, your one little bucket, the small ones you get up at the pet shop are just fine. The lighting too, you got to watch with the lighting and what you can afford. I can't afford the lighting. Yeah, the lighting is like really expensive, and the ones you go on Amazon and you get really cheap, they really don't do that good. I had someone like just buy some, and their plants were all leggy and falling over. Um, if you do it inside and you get some lighting and it's cheap lighting, make sure that you try to get it situated so you, like I said, you get a lot of sunlight from like morning sun, maybe a window. Have it sitting there, and then maybe, you know, close the shades after it gets, you know, nighttime. Close your shades and supplement with the light. You can even have the lights on when you have the sunlight going too, you know, to get as much as you can. But being totally inside, Jeff, you do most of yours all the way inside, right? If you don't have adequate lighting, it's not going to do very good. That's why I like using Brad's lights. They're fantastic, and I think, you know, I'm not sure. I think it was like $80 or something, but it's like one light that really puts out a lot of light. I need to know how to do hydroponics in an apartment. I have grow lights. How long should it stay on? Yeah, just like Jeff said there, 16 hours. I usually do it about 16 hours. And but 16 hours on would be 6 hours off, right? 24, 8 hours off. 16, 24. Yeah, and 8 hours off. And then sometimes I go about 6 hours off sometimes. And you probably go 12 and 12. Yeah, it depends on how strong your lights are in that. Cool. I had something else here too, if anybody had any questions. I was playing around with Snapcam. How's that? Let's see. Jeff's grown broccoli, tomatoes, peppers, cucumbers. Oh, you grew some cucumbers indoor, Jeff? All in the basement. Cool. Now, Jeff, YouTube's funny. Before, we used to be able to click the little dots right beside somebody's name, and you could go to their channel. You can't do that now, but y'all can look up Jeff. Why don't you put a link to your channel in there so they can find you, because they can't. I don't know if you guys know this before. You know, you used to be able to click on someone's name and go right to their channel, and YouTube took that off. But right now, what do you call it? You'd have to go search for it, and sometimes other names would come up there. But you know, Jeff, put your link to your channel in there. If y'all want to grow indoors, Jeff's growing indoors. You can go check him out. And you know, of course, all the other people that we've always talked about on his channel was Marty's Garden. Marty's still doing it. He's still going strong. You know, y'all go over there and check him out once in a while. Pepe Fasos. He's not putting out videos because he got so busy. You can go look at his old videos, but I remember Pepe started and he was just growing microgreens and putting up, you know, sharing it with us, and he kept getting bigger and bigger and selling it to the local market, and he opened up a table at the farmer's market, and next thing he was selling at restaurants, and high-end chefs were using his stuff. And if you follow him on Instagram, it's 560 Farms on Instagram. He doesn't post a whole lot on YouTube anymore, but on Instagram almost every weekend he posts something or does stories. And he's converted a huge hog barn that they had, tore everything out, gutted it, cleaned it, put fiberglass panels up on top so the light can get in. and turned the whole thing in. Now the whole thing's filled with microgreens, like as far as you can see. And he keeps selling those every week. So he's a real inspiration. If you guys got any questions in that, you know, you can find him on Instagram. You can always comment on one of his posts, and he always comments back to everyone. On the Grow Farms, they just started out this year, and their channel exploded. I think they're up to, I don't know, 40,000 or something followers, but a real cool channel and real cool couple. In the last couple of videos they had, they just had a load of microgreens in there. I teach y'all how to grow like some microgreens. We start out, but then we take the microgreens, we turn them into baby greens or bigger plants. So we do a lot of things. So I don't spend a whole lot of time on just microgreens. To me, I'm just growing them just really fast so I can get them to turn them into baby greens, and I get a little bit more out of it. But if you guys have questions about how to grow microgreens, check out On The Grow. And they've got a ton of videos, and their stuff just looks just awesome. Mike, your spores are showing. Are they? Oh. It sucks. Arizona's houses usually don't have any basements. Yeah. Yep, shrooms tonight. Oh, that's right. Here. Was that confusing? It's snap cam or something. They've got different filters. Let's see, I built 24 feet of 30-inch downspouts. Wow. Per your instructions. No problem. Hey, is that, how do you pronounce that? Coin Chronicles? That's awesome. People have been sharing. Like I said, if you guys aren't in the Facebook group yet, Jeff's, you're over there, right? Keep on growing. Just look up Keep on Growing without the G. It's Keepit and GROWIN. Keep on Growing, and you'll find it. You know, the first picture, the banner at the top will just have all my pak choy, so you know you're in the right spot. But ask to join. My wife lets people in every day. But people over there, if you've got questions, you can pop it in there. And CB's over there. David Chares, David Blevins, I think was in the chat. Jeff, yeah, Jeff's over there. There's lots of people that jump in and just answer questions. People help each other out, and you don't have to be an expert on it too, because we're all learning, right? We're all doing different things, and we help each other out. And like I said, I grow a bunch of greens. I grow some tomatoes and peppers. I haven't grown a whole lot of different things, and because I want to keep it simple, not confuse too many people. But you guys are like learning and doing different things, and they share it with each other. And some people, the way I built the downspout, they figured out a different way to do it that works better for them, and they share it in there too. So that, you know, that's fantastic. Like I said, my way's not the end all beat all way. My way's just me experimenting for years and getting to something that works for me, and I share it with y'all. If it works for you, you know, that's awesome. And if not, just keep working with it and experimenting, and don't get discouraged. A lot of people had just went on over and try it once or twice. I tried several times. I tried for years. I tried traditional hydroponics. I went through a lot of money, and basically that's why I started the channel too. I want to save people a lot of money, because it is interesting. It's fascinating. You know, you can grow without soil. I'm not saying it's better than it. I love soil gardening and getting your hands dirty once in a while, but if you don't feel like getting your hands dirty and just want to real quick go out there and take some of your microgreens and fill some nutrients in a container and put it in there and call it done, you know, that's possible too. So the idea of hydroponics is cool. It uses only about 10% of the water that a traditional garden uses. So if you're living in an area where they charge you for your water, and your water bill goes sky high because you're watering your garden or your lawn, you might want to think about turning everything into a hydroponic garden where it's going to use a lot less nutrients. I think I went through basil. I grew in a 16-gallon tote, and I made 4 harvests, just huge bushes of basil. Trimmed it all back, made pesto, trimmed it all back, you know, froze some, just used it for all kinds of stuff. I made like 4 whole batches out of this one 16-gallon tote that had 4 cups in it. And I think that we filled it up. It was filled when we first started at 16 gallons, and I let it get about halfway down before I refilled it, so about halfway and halfway. I think so, 16 to 16. We went through about 30 gallons. Now if you went outside and you stuck basil in the ground and you watered it, you're probably going to use 30 gallons of water in one day. You know, turn on your hose and stick it in a gallon and see how quick it fills up and then think about how many minutes you got your water running. So the way hydroponics does it is the plants are taking what it needs and it's recirculating the rest, or as in the cracking system, it just stays there until it evaporates a little, or the plants use it. So you're using a lot less water. So there's lots of different reasons to use it. There's no weeding. These things sitting up off the ground. So you're over there, and then if you enjoy weeding, that's cool. But I'm getting older where I don't want to be bending over in the garden all day or working with the hoe. So there, lots of different reasons why you should be doing hydroponics. And people are interested, and you go into a hydroponics shop, and they're going to tell you need this and that and this and that, and net cups and hydrogen and rock wool and lights and a pump and meters, and before you know it, your checkbook's freaking empty, and you're growing a little bit of lettuce. So I just want to make it easy so people get started. You get excited about it. So don't go out there and try like 12 different kinds of plants right off the bat. I know that's real tempting, but try to master a couple of them, have fun with it, and do them over and over. That's why I like the microgreens, because you can grow them in 7 to 10 days and start right over again and just keep going over and over. Hey Jeff, thanks for putting the link to the Facebook group. Yeah, if y'all jump in there, it's kind of fun. I try to jump in once or twice a week. Being on the road and doing all of this, I have a hard time, but between me and Jeff and CB and everybody else, jumping in there, what do you call it? You'll be able to get your questions and that answered. Let me see if I miss anything here. Living with uncle and father, so no extra space inside. Oh yeah, you can see that. I also built 6 of your self-watering microgreen boxes. Outstanding answer. Cool, appreciate it. Yeah, it's fine. I just emptied all mine out, so I got to plant all my microgreens. I'm excited about it. Whenever I go and start putting a new crop in, it's always fun. I got your downspouts, planter lady. Didn't have enough light, and my plants got leggy and fell over. Yeah, I got to be trying it again now that I know how much light. Yeah, it's experimenting in that. And that's one of the biggest things. Plants need light, and the nutrients. People get a little confused about that. They think they just need the nutrients, but it really needs the nutrients. Is like we need vitamins. We still need food. So the plants use sunlight to create food, photosynthesis. So they're using the nutrients. That's like us. If we don't get enough vitamins, minerals, we can eat all we want. We can eat junk food. We can just live off of potato chips, and we're not going to be healthy. So the plants need those nutrients so that they can photosynthesize and make the food and be healthy. It's kind of a real quick, biology thing in a nutshell. 27-gallon tote. Started a watermelon last year, but the weather did not cooperate. Yeah, I got to try it again. We tried one, and it went up, grew all over the place, and I got a couple of melons, and like I said, and then the weather just went wonky and everything, so I'm going to try it again this year. I started my tomato plant with hydroponic drip system. 5-gallon buckets and 4-inch net cups. Cool. And a $15 water pump. Nice. I'd like to see that, sir. Yeah, if you join the group, share some pictures in that. And check out CB. He's not in here tonight, but he's in that group. His name is Randy Jones, I think. But he's always answering questions. And he's actually got a greenhouse set up with, what do you call it? I think one whole greenhouse is nothing but tomatoes and different varieties, and the other one is full of peppers, and some of them are set up, that's called like the Dutch bucket system. He's got them all set up like that. Lettuce is the simplest and easiest way to get started. Yeah, it sure is. My microgreen seeds keep falling through the netting. What should I do? Let's see, microgreen seeds. I don't really know what you mean, Cindy. Are you talking about when you first start? Are you trying to do like David did, where he had a screen and then he was just putting the seeds on and setting it like the Tupperware thing? Because David's in that group. I think he's got his own Facebook group. You've got to use seeds that are bigger than the size of the screen, the hole in the screen. So if you're using something teeny like amaranth or the pak choi seeds are really small, they'll fall right through. Did I put up a video yet? I get real confused. But did I put up a video? I've got a tub with hydrogen, and I toss my seeds in there and get them started. I know I filmed it. I don't know if I edited it yet, but I'll put that up for y'all because that's an easy way to grow your microgreens and everything too. Let's see. I still cannot find a good container to grow the microgreens. Tried every dollar store that we have. Let's see. I've got so many videos to make, and that's why I'm going to do a frequently asked question one too. But in the Dollar Tree, even if you're, over where the plastic containers, like their garbage cans and their office supplies and all, they usually have one whole section of a bunch of plastic bins, and that's where I found those. But you guys can always go over to the Tupperware section, and there's tons of Tupperware. And anything that's got a little bit of a lip, it doesn't have to be as big as mine. And just take it in the store and just flip that lid over and see if it'll sit on top without falling off. And if it doesn't, keep one lid, buy two. They're Dollar Tree, they're really inexpensive, and flip the other one over like I did. And tape it together if you have to, or when you cut it and you put the wicking material, whether it be paper towel or an old t-shirt, when you put that through, hold them both together. You don't have to get them exactly like mine. The reason why I was using those was I found them, they were all over the place like 3 years ago. So I bought a bunch of them, and I was making them and I was selling them to people because everyone was asking where'd you get that. So I had them up for sale for like $5 or something with the nutrients and the wick and everything. But I sold them really quick, and then they were like gone. And when I went to order them from the company, they wouldn't let me get just the green. You had to buy the case and you get green, red, and blue. And nobody wanted the red and blue ones. So if I kept getting cases, I'd get stuck with the red and blue ones. And then they just stopped, and now they have like black and red and blue or something, some odd colors. But you can still use those. You can paint them if you want. Don't get hung up on it. The container's not really the problem. What you want to do is don't get it too deep, unless it's going to be big and you put several plants. If you just put 1 or 2 plants of microgreens, you don't want it too deep because you're going to waste a lot of nutrients. 4 or 5 inches deep is all right. And any kind of lid that you can flip over, if you want to do it with soil, just make sure it's a lid that's deep enough to put a little bit of soil. And if you're just going to do it with the grow mat, like what we do, it doesn't have to be deep at all. You can use any container. So I bought a bunch of Tupperware, and I'm actually filming a video where I'm going to do that. Would empty coffee cans work to start the hydro? Yeah, lots of people do it. And if you look around at different videos, a lot of people started. I started with that because we're drinking a lot of coffee, and we had a whole lot of them. They're easy to cut, and you can put like a little net cup in it, or just use a pool noodle if you want. You can slice it, put a little slat, put wicking material in it, and you can grow your microgreens like that too. Really easy. Absolutely. I put in a request for the group. Okay, cool. My wife will check that, or when I'm done with this. I've got to go stream on Facebook and let them know who won and after this, and then I'll go. If she doesn't let you in, I'll let you in, but she checks like almost every day. There are different size screens you can get for smaller seeds. I don't know. Dave, the one that he does, I made like one of those to make a video and show people how to do it. David does a whole lot of them. So if you go check out David, like I said, he's in the group, and his, I don't know if I think he's got a YouTube channel, but he hadn't put up a whole lot of videos, but he's got a Facebook channel, and he put some videos up over there. You can ask him what he does. Let's see, they just had the perfect depth. Yeah, they were. That's what I'm having an issue finding. Yeah, so I've done a couple. I'm going to show y'all how to do it. I'm going to do it in little takeout containers. I'm going to do it in a bunch of different containers, and then that way people can see, how to do it and not really be, really hung up on trying to get one that looks exactly like mine. I have a few dozen coffee cans. They're nice and dark. Yeah, they work well, and the top's black and everything. So I had, like, my porch just looked like, it was a grocery store with all the coffee cans and that lined up on it. Now I have milk jugs, so it looks like it's the dairy department. Got 2-gallon buckets from a bakery for free. Awesome. That's cool. I was getting a bunch of those when I did the rain gutter grow system, where you have a trough of water and you fill up the bucket with soil and you put a little wick in the bottom of it. And I went to almost any bakery, Winn-Dixie or whatever, and if they had like pickles or frosting, and you're like, hey, can I have a couple of buckets? And they were like, sure. And the last time I went to get some, I was at Firehouse Subs, and she had a whole stack of them. But she wouldn't give them to me. She wanted to sell them. So I don't know if I ended up paying like $1 or $2 or something for each one, but I got them anyway. And I think I picked up 2 today, Lowe's, and they're food grade, and they're 4 something a piece. So that's actually what I'm going to be experimenting with and cutting up in that, and trying to make a neat grow box out of that. Made 5-gallon wicking buckets, just like that. 3-inch net cup in the bottom to wick the water. Yeah, that was cool. And like I said, hydroponics is cool. Not every plant works well in it. There's some plants that like the roots to dry off a little and get wet and dry off. Not all of them do well in a totally wet environment. So you have to kind of test with it, and sometimes you might have to, if you want it to be kind of like a carefree system, the rain gutter grow system, like I think Larry Hall or something is on YouTube also. He made like a trough, and you fill the bucket up with soil and put a net cup in the bottom, and you set it on top of the gutter, and that net cup sits down inside of it and it soaks water up. So if you can keep that gutter filled up, it keeps feeding all the plants. So things that really don't do well in hydroponics and still like to be in soil, you can kind of set that system up, and then you don't have to sit there and water it every day. It can go like, a week or something without water, or you can hook up a float valve on the end of it and keep it filled up automatically. And did I miss something here? Let's see, the perfect depth, 2-gallon buckets from the bakery for free. I should use gallon jugs the way they go through milk and tea. Yeah. What do you call it, Bonnie? I did a video where I used just the half-gallon milk containers, and I saved up 60 of them. I planted in 60 of them at one time. Walmart has food grade 5-gallon buckets for $2.97. Oh, cool! Do they? I'm gonna have to go check that out. Were they just from the bakery, or they're over in the section, like where would they be, in the paint department? I also put in a request for the group. Awesome. Glad to see you all there. Like I said, you don't have to share anything. If you have questions, ask questions. Somebody will get to it, or they'll tag somebody. My wife, if nobody can answer the question, she'll tag me and I'll get to it. And if you're growing things and you want to share with people, just post pictures in there. That's cool. We all love seeing what everybody's growing. That's not a bad price. They're usually around $5. Yeah. Exactly. The buckets I have are white. Should I paint them or put something over them to make them dark? Yeah, it depends. If you have them out in the sunlight all the time, it's going to grow some algae. So you can either, you can paint it. I usually don't paint the top where the plant's going to be sitting on top of, but like the bucket itself, you can paint it. And if I paint it, I usually paint it black. Put a couple coats of black paint until you can't really see light through it anymore. And then it's going to absorb heat, which is bad. And then I go ahead and paint it white and put a couple coats of white. So that's like at least 4 coats of paint on it. So you get a layer of black in between of the white. So it's still reflecting the light, but it's not going to absorb all the heat. And that's worked well for me. Another thing you can do is there's this insulation in Home Depot. If you go over where they have all the insulation, they've got this roll that looks metallic. It's a roll that looks, and if you feel it, it's like bubble wrap with like foil on both sides. So it's like bubble wrap inside of foil. You can get that and cut it and roll it around those buckets and just stick it on with like a bungee cord or a big rubber band or something that just holds it on. And then you can reuse them if you need to. Let's see, the buckets I have are white. Okay, just said that. Yes, you should darken them up. Okay, Jeff's talking about that. I bought 2 the other day, in the paint department they're white. Okay, I'm gonna go check that out. I was just in Walmart. Thank you for the information. No problem, no problem. That's what we're here for, right? How long can I leave a batch of nutrients in a bucket? Mine lasts. I keep using it so it doesn't stay there more than a month. But I've never had any problem with it. You want to keep it in a dark place. Like I said, if you keep it out in your garden and in the sun, and if you don't have it like black or whatever, then it'll start to grow algae and deteriorate. I painted mine gray and purple. Nice. had the paint already. Let's see, until they are gone. Yeah, my what do you call it? Once Keely, if she gets to the things, there'll be all kinds of colors and everything. CB, how are you doing? Good evening. There's CB. I forgot who was asking the question. Was about she was saying she set up like a Dutch bucket system and that. But you can check CB out there. CB, before you do anything, could you just drop a link to your channel, because we, on YouTube we can't click beside anybody's name anymore, and they can't go right to your channel. So if you can just put a link to your channel there, if anybody wants to go check you out. Jeff, if you can drop your link again too, so if they got any questions about growing indoors. Appreciate that. What do you call it? I don't know why YouTube did that. There was some problem or something, and it used to be easy to, when you saw people and I say, hey, go check out CB, they just click on his name, you go right to his channel, and now you can't do that anymore. So appreciate that. Alrighty, so let's see, we've got somebody won some grow boxes, somebody won nutrients, and then Planner Lady, we're gonna hook up probably on, you can email me, right? And I'll get your address. And Vivian, now I haven't seen Vivian in the chat, she won some yesterday, but I'm gonna go ahead and give away one more pack since I'm mailing these off tomorrow. And so everybody who's still here in the chat, and I'll probably give one away on Facebook or something too, but if you guys want a sample, I don't have one sitting around here. If you guys haven't ordered a downspout or anything, when they get the downspout, they get the pool noodle inserts to use too, and then I send them a little pack of nutrients. It's A and B. One's got your Masterblend and your Epsom salt, and then the other one's got your calcium nitrate, and that's enough to make 5 gallons. So everybody's wondering, when you're going to buy the nutrients and you go on Amazon or wherever you're going looking for it, you're only using 10 to 12 grams of Masterblend at a time, and what do you call it, it's only about a tablespoon, so you're not using a whole lot. So what you buy, like that 1 pound packet that we were giving away, got that over here too, I ordered it. Let's see, where'd he go? Maybe I got it ready to pack already. I probably got it packed up in an envelope, but it's just a 1 pound bag. That's enough to make over like 300 gallons of nutrients, so it should last you a while, unless you're like CB and you have like a load of it, load of stuff growing. But if anybody wants one of these, who's still in the chat, what's there, 32 of you, I'm gonna mail these out tomorrow. I'll go ahead and write down a number like I did last week, between 1 and 100, and everybody go ahead and guess the number. Try not to guess numbers that everybody else is guessing, and we'll see who comes closest to that number. And I'll just write down one number right now. So if anybody wants a sample packet from 1 to 100, go ahead and guess, and I'll let those go for a little while and see if anybody gets it, and whoever gets closest will get it mailed to them tomorrow. Thanks again for your time and knowledge. Hey, no problem, and thank you for sharing what you're growing and everything too. Appreciate that. Now let those run for a little while. I know there's a little bit of a lag too between when I talk and by the time it gets to YouTube and back too, so. Let's see. It's a lot of close. And here, when I'm sitting here waiting, I guess that could just be the mushroom, right? Alrighty, everybody done? Then there's like 33 people watching right now. How's your moringa doing? Oh, it's just starting to come back. We're so excited about it because this is my first year growing. You know, last year was my first year growing. It grew, some of them grew about 8 feet tall. And wintertime you're supposed to cut it back, and we didn't get a winter this year. We just got, one day went down to about 32 degrees, and that was it. No, it didn't even get down to 32. It was about like high 30s, maybe close to 40s, and that was it for wintertime. So we didn't like cut it back, but then it started to warm up. I said, I better trim these back because they're getting too tall. You know, they'll just grow straight at first. And what I did was cut them back and was waiting and waiting and waiting, and finally some little sprouts came out. And we went out of town for a week. I had to go work like a week ago. And when I came back, they all sprouted. I'll put that in my next video. I just kind of put that on there. But we're excited. So they're starting to come back, and they're getting a little bushier than they were the last year. So I think I had about 12 of them planted out there, somewhere around that, and 90% of them started sprouting already. So pretty cool. Alrighty, let's see. Okay, everybody ready? Wow. I may have to do, let me see if anybody's got, I'll go through and y'all help me. I'll check it too. I had 32. So I see 33. 35, 34. I got 33, 34. So 33. And there's a 31, so I got 31 and 33. I might go ahead and give it to both of you, unless, did anybody get 32? Reginald Bell got 31. Who else got 31? Try this game. Cindy got 31 first, I think. Reginald, you voted twice. You voted 74 first, right? One number per person. Yeah, okay. And let's see. Grow something with Jeff, 31 and 33. Okay, that's what I'm seeing too. Is that what y'all are seeing? Sorry, I'm looking over this way. I'm just scrolling through the chat. So I got Cindy Ramirez. And that was with 31, and we're 33. Was the very first one, right? I don't know. Yeah, Jamie Gray right off the bat. All right, Cindy and Jamie. I'm on Twitter, Mike_Vanduzee, Vanduzee, just like my channel name. Follow me over there and say I'm the one who won the Masterblend, and don't put your address out for the public. Wait till I follow you back and we can DM each other, or go to keepongrowing1@gmail.com, and I'll check it tonight. Like I said, I don't check that Gmail very much, so don't ask me questions over there because I might not get to it. But I'll look for you guys if you get there. Here, I think Jeff wrote it in the chat one time. Let me look back up there. If y'all scroll back up in the chat, I think Jeff stuck my email in there somewhere. Yeah, in the Facebook group and everything too. So just look up Keep On Growing. So I'll get all those mailed off tomorrow. That's pretty cool. Any more questions? Let me play around with a couple of filters here, since y'all like the mushroom. There's other ones. This is called Snap Cam. It can be an eggplant. So that's pretty cool. Or tomato. One of my favorites. Alright, so what is it? Are we going on like an hour or something? Yeah, a little over an hour. Alright, cool. So if anybody doesn't have any more questions for right now, we're going to start wrapping it up. Appreciate it. Let's see, Brandon. Thanks, Mike. Looking forward to future vids. Yeah, I've got more videos coming out. Like I said, I wanted to get the downspouts to as many people as I could, because when I was doing it while I was working, it was kind of tough for me to get them out. I would just get some orders during the week, and I'd try to get it done on the weekend. But then we went in home isolation, and I was like, wow, this is cool. You know, I've got time. I raided all the Lowe's all around me. I went in and cleared out all their downspouts for like 4 different Lowe's close to me, and they refilled them. And I came back and got them all again, and finally they, like, one Lowe's close to me has like 60 of them in there. You know, they're like, wow, somebody's using these downspouts. So I've got like I had a lot of time, and I've made a whole lot of downspouts and got them out. So there's a lot of you out there that are growing. And as you know, when things open up and I get back to like my real job, I wish I could do this full time and just do, you know, I love doing this and making more videos. But I'm not going to be able to spend all my time making downspouts. So I might take the sale off, get that back down to normal, and then get back to making more videos, because I kind of miss doing that with y'all, because I got a lot of stuff to share. I filmed a whole lot of stuff, but I just haven't, you know, got time to film it yet. Does that make it hard for y'all to take me seriously? I'll take the pineapple off. So if y'all want to, you know, it won't be too long. I'll have the frequently asked questions one coming up first, and that'll take a little while, and it's going to be more serious. So, you know, people are kind of like, you know, the fun and games and that, those videos will be coming back. But there's a lot of people that just weren't really into the, you know, fun stuff. They just wanted just plain information. So that's going to be coming up. All right, enough of that. So if you all want to play with Snap, that's called Snapcam. You can get that on your computer. Aloha, Pineapple Head. Yeah. Hey, Susan, how are you doing? Evelyn. And let's see, what is that? White Rich Shoes. Where's the rum? Yeah, where's the rum? Why is it always the rum? You serious? Yep, I'm serious. You can't be too serious. I mean, there's too much crazy stuff going on right now. So, I want to thank everybody. And not just for what you do for my channel and that, for everything. Everybody's been going through a whole lot. And we've stayed at home. We've been in like home isolation when you're out. Those of you who are doing the social distancing, everybody that's wearing a mask and taking steps, it's kind of hard to see results that happen. There's a lot of information going on out there. There's a lot of blame. There's a lot of people pointing fingers. There's a lot of people, you know, hindsight's 20/20, trying to figure things out. But the truth is, things could have been a lot worse. The projections were that we were going to be at close to 1 million people could have died from this virus. And right now we're standing at a little over 100,000, which is totally devastating to anybody who knows anyone or who's been affected by it. It's just really crazy stuff and really sad. But it could have been 10 times worse. And the reason why it's not is because we took mitigation. And we took the steps to keep, you know, the thing from spreading that fast. And because we did that, the numbers didn't get as high as they were projected. So people doubt that we had to do that. But because everyone did do that, whoever did it, and it was a sacrifice. It was tough. You know, the first week or two was fun, and we were binge watching Netflix and calling people we haven't called, and shopping online and doing a lot of things, and sitting around for family dinner. You know, people were too busy before connecting with old friends. But then after a month, you know, it got kind of tough. So you guys did something that's really, really, you know, it took a lot, you know, out of you, and that's why people are getting stressed out. They're complaining. That's why people are protesting and wanting to get back out. But the fact that you all did that, you prevented this thing from spreading, and we've actually saved, I mean, you're talking about close to 900,000 lives. You know how many more people in America? You might not know anybody that it's affected. I saw people like tweeting, you know, does anybody know anyone with the virus? You know, I don't know anyone. Has anybody seen anyone? It's because it's kind of kept at bay and it's spread out. You know, if you're in New York, you probably know, in New York and California or South Florida. But it could have been a lot worse. So the stuff that we've done might seem for naught, and it might seem like we wasted a lot of time, but think about that you may have saved 900,000 lives. That you might not have been sick. You know, a lot of people are thinking, I'm healthy, I might get over it. But you might have been a carrier, and you might have spread it to just one other person. And that person might have went to a friggin' concert, or he might have went and ate at a restaurant, or he might have went to somebody's birthday party and spread it to 200 people. And those people, and it could have started something. So each one of us that helped and did that, you've actually saved people's lives. And the virus wasn't just about people living and dying either. Some people caught it and survived it, and they're never going to be the same. You know, it's not just the flu. Some people are strong enough and they get over it. Some people, it's devastating, and they're coming out with walkers. You see them pushing them out in wheelchairs. You didn't come out of the hospital with the flu in a wheelchair. You know, so this thing is devastating, and what you guys have done, you know, I think there's a lot of complaining, there's a lot of finger pointing, there's a lot of blaming. There's not a whole lot of thank yous going on out there. So it's, you know, I want to say thank you to all of you that have done it, even though it's hard, even though you might be complaining about it, you went through it. The people are doing it without complaining. You know, you guys are friggin' angels for doing it and stepping up. You know, and I think all of you guys should, you know, thank as many people as you know too. I think if we change the narrative from everybody complaining and saying we didn't have to do it to you know, thanking each other that we've saved almost 1 million lives so far. And you know, maybe if there's a second flare-up coming, that we all remember, put on a mask, social distance. We might not have to shut down the country. You might just have to be hotspots in that, you know. So it wasn't something that was really difficult. You know, there's people that save lives, that put their lives on the line every day to save a life. And we see like an accident happen and somebody jumping in and saving someone, and we're like, you know, wow, that's heroic. You guys are being heroic just putting a friggin' mask on. You've saved a life. I mean, and you can't say that life was any more important than another life. So I think that everybody needs to like thank each other, pat yourself on the back. You know, that we've done something great, and that if this thing flares up again, we know that there's something simple we can do to mitigate and to keep it at bay. So I think if we kind of change our narrative, and everybody would be a little more happy, and it'd make it a little easier to get through it the next time. And so don't use all your supplies up. There may be another thing coming. You know, I know everybody might go and use all the toilet paper that they stockpile, or use all the water or the beans and the ramen. You know, save up, because there might be another one coming, and then we all don't have to run back out. You still have it. Have your mask ready if you haven't got masks yet. Bonnie sells masks. Posh Notions in chat. Everybody get masks. Just be ready. You know, and then that way, if it happens, we take care of it. We know what we got to go through. Get you a haircut right before it happens, so you don't have to complain that a month later you didn't have a haircut. Stock up on your hamburgers or whatever, and we'll make it through. So thank you all. Like I said, I appreciate everything that you guys have helped me with in my channel, watching it, sharing it with each other. It's helped me get through it. Not just it's helped me financially, but it's also helped me just like emotionally, and just being able to connect with people. You know, we wouldn't be able to do that before. And just to know that I'm doing something and physically making something and shipping it to someone, and it's helping them, you know, it still helped me kind of stay connected with everybody out there. So I really appreciate it. I love y'all. I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Staying home, test kitchen. I have many thank you. So if y'all just thank you. Yeah, Bonnie's making masks and that. Waiting for my haircut. Cool. So I love y'all. Thank you very much. Congratulations to the winners. And I've got some more videos coming out. Anybody wants to connect with me, I'm on Twitter, Mike_Van Doozy, and I usually check that every day. So anybody needs any help, just hit me up over there. Thank you for helping us all connect. No problem. Yeah, y'all connect with each other too. Alrighty. Now let me see if I can end the stream. I love y'all. Live to inspire. Keep on growing.